Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Sammy. I am a women's health coach, a bikini physique competitor, and a registered dietitian. Today's video is going to be all about being 11 weeks out from my next bikini competition. And as you can probably tell from last week, I'm actually 2 weeks closer than my initial competition date. And that's because I finally made a decision on which organization I'm going to compete with, as well as which show I will be doing for the new organization. So to get started, let's talk about what changes have been made from last week to this week. So because I am losing 2 weeks of my prep time, I had to make some big cuts. Therefore, I am up to still 6 days of cardio per week, including 30 minutes of cardio after every lift instead of 20 minutes, so an increase in cardio. Steps are still 12,000 per day. Workouts are still 5 days of lifting with 1 day of abs. And then my food, this is where the biggest change has been made. Originally, I went down from 260 to 210 grams of carbohydrates. I am now down to 190 because, again, we are making up for some lost time, being a lot closer than initially expected. I'm still at 140 grams of protein, which this is going to stay very stagnant going into show. As mentioned before, this is because I want to maintain as much lean body mass and muscle as possible, getting closer to stage while really only losing fat. Obviously, that's completely impossible, but having a high protein diet can kind of help manage the effects. And then lastly, my fats are down to 45 grams per day. This is so low for me, and I love my fats. I love my avocados. I love my nuts, my seeds, my nut butters, my almonds, etc. So I've been very, very selective with where I'm getting my fats from. Before sharing some highlights about how this week is going, let's get into what organization I'm going to be competing with, which I know many of you have asked me via Instagram or seen me kind of being like, what organization are you going to do? So before I say why I'm going to be doing a new organization, let me get into a little bit of background. So I originally was a WBFF pro. I've been competing with them for the past almost 5 years now. This would have been my 5th year. And unfortunately, a lot has come up about the organization. I'm not going to get into the details. I'm not really one for drama, but I will say my personal values and morals do not align with the owners of the organization. And therefore, I don't feel that representing their organization would be aligned with who I want to represent and what I want to present to my clients. I am a women's health coach. I motivate a lot of women to stay active, and I motivate a lot of women to compete. Therefore, whatever organization I'm recommending they go into, I have to wholeheartedly believe it's a good, valued organization. I didn't feel like my values aligned. Therefore, I resigned my pro status. That being said, I'm in the middle of a prep, and I am starting from scratch in a new organization I know nothing about. So research has been through the roof right now with learning a completely new organization that I have never even been to a show before, while I'm about 11 weeks out. So this is going to be crazy. The biggest differences for me so far is definitely just the style of posing. I'm going to share videos with you guys so far. My posing, bear with me. I'm very new to this style. The WBFF is more, think like model-esque, fashion. It's all about like having fun, being flowy on stage, where this organization is much more just that typical bodybuilding. You have your front pose, you have your back pose, and you kind of transition between the two. So very different for what I'm used to. I also didn't announce which organization I'm doing yet. So I'm going to be competing with the OCB, which is a natural federation for bodybuilding. So therefore, they do tests for all of their competitions. I did take a while before I chose which organization I wanted to go with. The biggest reason I chose a natural federation is because I'm obviously a natural athlete. And if I do want to make it at that higher level with stage and becoming a pro eventually, I want to have a fighting chance. And there's obviously other organizations that do not test. And therefore, I could probably make it to a certain point as a natural athlete. However, I would not make it very far, which would definitely impact my future in that division. I also chose this organization because I have a lot of friends that compete in it. So I'm going to have a lot of support going into the show. I have other athletes I already know competing, and I actually am going to have some clients compete with me as well and attend the show. So tons of support going into this organization. Obviously, I'm very new, so I'm just testing the waters. I do plan on seeing a show before I compete, and I do attending different posing clinics. So the more I learn about the organization itself, the more I will share with you guys. I am most likely going to be entering the open bikini class. I may try to do novice, but I have to reach out to the promoter to see if I can do novice. Novice is essentially supposed to be someone who's very new and completely like new to any federation. Since I do hold my pro card or have held my pro card in a different organization, I don't think I would actually be considered novice. Therefore, I'm probably just going to do the open class. Another change is obviously the bikini style. So I don't have anything I can compete in right now. So I'm currently looking into some different styles. I kind of already know what color I want to go with. It was the color I was going to go with anyways. I just ordered my shoes. So when they get in, I'll definitely share with you guys how my walking's going. Everything is just so different than what I am used to, between just like the individual rounds, the comparison rounds, the style of the stage, which I'm very, very excited about. All right, so now that you guys know which division I'm going into, which federation I'm competing with, some of the struggles I'm handling right now, I'm going to share some highlights from this week between what workouts I got in, which I got them all in, where my macros are at, how I've been hitting them, and all the other things I've been going through this week. So stay tuned for the rest of that. So let's get right into the overview of this week. Starting off with Monday, I hit a nice heavy leg day, was feeling pretty good, not my best, so I took a little bit of pre-workout for that extra oomph because this was also my first day of 30 minutes of cardio, so I just needed that extra motivation after my lift to get through. I also was able to get all 12,000 steps in addition to hitting my macros to a T with those changes. Tuesday, I hit an upper body, which was chest and shoulder focused. I also got my 30 minutes of cardio right after my lift, and then I hit macros to a T. I couldn't fit all of my food in at the end of the day. I kind of saved way too much food at the end of the day, unfortunately, so I had to save a little bit for today. I will do that occasionally. These calories are already accounted for, and so I'll just add it to one of my meals today, a little bit more volume. I don't like to do that, but I got home really late and unfortunately had to get steps in at like 9 o'clock at night. I went for like an hour-long walk. Thank God for my boyfriend who really did pull through and come with me. He's been amazing during this prep. And even today, I had a meal prep quickly, some sandwiches to go to work. And he is a saint and he helped me meal prep while I ate before I had to go back to work. So it's really good to have a good support system when you are a competitor, whether it's friends, whether it's family, whether it's your partner. It's really critical. I mean, I've done it on my own before without the support. It's hard, but it just makes it 10 times better having someone there to support you throughout this time. Now, today's lift is a little bit different. I did hit another leg day, and I'll get into why I'm hitting all my workouts so close together. However, I didn't have enough time to get my cardio in, and therefore I'm going to have to go back after I get out of work tonight and go back for my 30 minutes of cardio. Unfortunately, it's not my most ideal way to do things, but sometimes that's how things are going to go. And I will share my macros here as well for the conclusion for today. So the reason I am doing lower, upper, lower, upper, lower is because I am going on vacation over this weekend. Next week's video will be all about being on prep while being on vacation. Lots of meal prepping, lots of planning, not a lot of food out to eat. Luckily, I am actually going to be camping, so really cool. I'm going to be doing a lot of hiking. I'm going whitewater rafting, etc. So being just really active, but I still need to make sure that my calories are on point. I also need to make sure steps are on point, which with camping shouldn't be a problem at all. And then also I saved my cardio and ab day for this upcoming weekend. I don't have access to a gym. Typically on vacation when I'm on prep, I will make sure I have access to a gym. But since I'm able to hit every single lift before I go on vacation, I'm not going to have any problems at all. And before I conclude this video, I just want to share what my current measurements are like. My current weight is still at 123. I believe I was about 123 last week. No, I was 124.5. Just kidding. 124.5. This week, I'm finally hitting that 123, and I do think this is going to plummet going into the next 2 weeks. Based on my measurements, my waist is down about another ½ inch or so. So I'm down to about 27 inches. My glutes are still 38.5 inches. So I'm really keeping it there, even though my weight is going down. And then my legs are still about 22, 22.5. Again, I have imbalances in my thighs. So I'm really keeping things right on track. Things will me going down quicker now that I've cranked things up between my cardio and calories. So stay tuned for that. Here are some progress photos. And overall, I'm really happy where this prep is going. Sharing a little clip of me practicing my posing already. I just got a posing coach, so I'm really excited to be working with her. I won't be working with her in person for the next couple of weeks. I do have a posing clinic I'm virtually attending this upcoming weekend. So lots of posing practice while I'm on vacation. And then I will give you guys updates next week. If you liked today's video, please be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and comment what you'd like to see. I'm super happy to be sharing this journey with you guys. Thank you so much for watching.